Hello and welcome back, YouTube. Oh yes, I'm still very much on oversharing mode. I can only imagine how behind I am at posting my videos at this point, being that I'm currently over a week and a day behind, and will be even more than that tomorrow, because I don't think, you think I would remember this. You think this would be important enough for me to remember at the moment I'm drawing a blank, but I don't think that there's any Wi-Fi available to me at HelloFresh. And I don't dare use my hotspot off of Obamaphone 5, mostly because that's awful, but also because it's a very limited. It's not like the hotspot that I used to get back in the day from back when I had Obamaphone 1 from Assurance Wireless. It's extremely limited. In fact, the data is counted separately, and it's considerably less than what I get. Than what I get even for data on Obamaphone 5. So that said, I should probably the next time I see a tint where they're giving away free phones, I should look into it. Wow, so wild finally seeing one of those abandoned vehicle tags on that. I don't know if the video caught it, but it's just right there on the right as I come out of that intersection. That giant, like short bus, for lack of a better term. A giant white short bus that's been sitting there parked for a long time. I mentioned that I would like to look into see what it would take for me to acquire that, and there's a whole lot of things I can think of I would love to do with something like that. Do I have money to spend on that? No, I'm still wondering where the hell my rent is coming from at the end of the month. Although I'm feeling a whole lot better about when. Oh, by the way, date and time. It's still Tuesday, July 11th. Oh yeah, 7-Eleven. Am I going to have time to go to 7-Eleven for a free Slurpee before I go to work? I don't think so. I don't. Wow, someone's trimming the palm trees right there. That's pretty badass. I so much admiration for anybody who can do that kind of work. I mean, just the thought of doing any work outside when it's as hot as it is on a day like today is just wow to you. But climbing palm trees and trimming them is just. I had one of my best friends back in the 90s who did that, who later became a cab driver for me. And then later died from multiple sclerosis, but that's a whole nother different story. But, it kind of cut that big truck off. I mean, I know I was going to make it in front of him, but I'm sure that guy's cussing me out right now. It just was looking like I wouldn't get a gap if I didn't go right now. And now I'm looking behind him like, oh yeah, huge gap incoming. And meanwhile, I'm stuck trying to make a U-turn where it says U-turn okay when the guy that made the U-turn at the no U-turn sign is already long gone. Oops. Yeah, there's that 7-Eleven right over there on 48th Street, but going and getting my free Slurpee might be the difference between me making it on time tonight and not making it on time. And I'm going to get to the Africa No Bottoms 2.0 story. Probably not on this trip. I really want to tell the story though because it's so good. But I did hear a bit of a teaser right as I'm turning on my phone that I realized I just put my phone on the thing that KTAR is going to give coverage.
Cleared also the 101 Pima Freeway westbound just after 64th Street. That wreck cleared up as well. There is a new crash coming in, a pedestrian involved here on the surface streets, Indian School Road at 33rd Avenue. Watch for that. The paramedics headed that way. Lake Pleasant Parkway just south of Happy Valley Road, Four Corners there in Peoria. There's a crash there as well. 35th Avenue at Encanto Boulevard between Thomas Road and McDowell. A crash in the clearing stage stages, and another earlier crash cleared at Buckeye Watson Road just south of I-10. I'm Chuck Rowe, KTAR News.
Clouds will make for a warm night. The low only falls to 92 tonight.
I said Buckeye and Watson. Those are two roads that parallel each other.
Then we climb to 115 on Thursday, and the high reaches 117 this weekend. I'm ABC 15 meteorologist Ida Hermosillo.
Currently in Chandler, it's 106 degrees. Weather is brought to you by Howard Air.
Yeah, you guys didn't mishear that. They're forecasting 117 for this weekend. Damn.
The city can solve this problem faster.
Closing arguments wrapped up.
This is what I wanted to cover. Here we go.
The zone homeless encampment cleanup. The attorneys for the business owners who sued the city of Phoenix for not enforcing nuisance laws told the judge it's unfair to wait another 9 months that Phoenix says it will take to clean up the zone.
We know the city can solve the problem in about 50 days. The city can remove everyone from the zone once it has a safe outdoor space. It can give the folks the option, moving there, going to a shelter, going someplace else, and if they have to, going to jail.
That's plaintiff's attorney Stephen Tully. Meanwhile, defense attorney for the city of Phoenix, Justin Pierce, says the city is doing the best it can with limited shelter space.
Bullshit.
For facilities underway. We're about to drop millions and millions of dollars on an open space. The plan is clearly in place.
The city's asking
The city
a judge
already
to
has
take
open
no
spaces.
further action so they can continue their work cleaning up the zone block by block. The judge said that he'll make a decision in about a month. Crime was a topic of today's hearing.
A month? Are you kidding me?
The court heard from one law enforcement expert, Brian Freudenthal, Phoenix Police Commander of the Downtown Operations Unit, to discuss crime rates in the zone and if the city's crime reduction efforts have been effective.
No.
Has there been a decrease in property crime in the Human Services campus area since this crime suppression plan was put into place?
Yes.
Has there been a decrease in violent crime since the crime suppression plan was put into place?
Yes.
Stay tuned to KTAR for the latest on this ongoing story. Colton Krolak, KTAR News.
Joe Falacci owns Old Station Subs at Jefferson and 13th Avenue, and he is one of the plaintiffs in
I
the
need to
suit
beat this guy.
that led to the judge ordering the zone cleanup. He tells Arizona's Morning News his business is a gold mine that's been heavily impacted by the huge number of homeless people in the area.
Everybody that comes by says, "Hey, cute place, great place, cute little place." But God bless that owner, man. I'm out of here. You know, there's no way I want to be in this situation, and I can't blame him.
Falacci expressed frustration with the mayor and other city leaders for not moving more quickly.
Those are still clips from yesterday morning's interview. I already put that on this vlog.
One local nonprofit stresses not to forget about families who are struggling. KTAR's Luke Forstner has the story.
But Becky, there are a lot of families experiencing homelessness in the valley.
In the recent point-in-time count, there were identified over 563 families.
For that matter, there's people making families while experiencing homelessness in the valley. I'm pretty sure I saw a woman that was about 4 months pregnant, maybe 5 months pregnant, while I had breakfast today. Yeah, St. Vincent de Paul.
Where they just out behind on their rent. Someone lost a job, they're fleeing domestic violence, so every situation is very different.
Ragos adds shelter capacity remains an issue, with families having a harder time accessing services and facing months-long wait times.
At any given time, there's probably about 125 families on a wait list to access shelter, and unfortunately there's not the space for them.
Luke Forstner, KTAR News.
There really needs to be more programs for people in the situation I'm in, especially for families that are in the situation I am. And I'm all for families getting priority over single guys like myself. But for people who have homes and are actively searching for work, but don't know where their rent is coming from at the end of the month, there needs to be more programs for those people. Because once they're looking for shelter, it's too late. God, if that could just be prevented, that would make a difference. I don't hear anybody talking about that.
Last rainfall was March 22nd. Our extreme heat warning continues right through next Tuesday now.
117 forecast for the
Arizona
weekend.
GOP Chair Jeff DeWitt admitted to financial struggles for the party after recent reports claimed it's broke. DeWitt.
Oh, boo-hoo, a political party is broke. Like, families are homeless and suddenly, like, that matters? Or that a political party is broke? You know, if all the money these political parties spent on ads was spent on housing the unhoused, there wouldn't be a homelessness issue. Just saying. Like, goddamn, how much was spent on the Arizona Senate race last election? Think about that. Do you really care about the homeless people? Christian Cinema. Put your money where your mouth is.
Prosecutor in the state, the county attorneys are.
If we set this as a precedent where a governor thinks that they can strip another elected official's powers, it may not be a bad thing today to some people, but in the future it may be.
Mitchell says there will remain
No, it wouldn't be a bad thing ever.
in her office and that no abortion cases have been submitted to her. Taylor Tesler, KTAR News.
The executive branch is not the legislative branch. Oh, I'm so sick of this crap.
And other state officials were in Winslow today celebrating a multi-million-dollar investment that will support the Chevelon Butte wind farm. The AEX Corporation is behind the event. The energy giant is making a $680 million capital investment into the wind farm, which will create an estimated $267 million economic impact for the state. We have more on this.
I wonder how much of that is earmarked tax dollars that they really don't deserve.
Semiconductors may soon be in your hands thanks to a $270 million investment into a first-of-its-kind fab center in Tempe.
ASU's head of research, Sally Morton, says the new materials to Fab Center means more research can be developed into final products.
Yeah, go for that. So anyway, as I was in the process of putting my putting Obamaphone 3 up into the holder so I could shoot video, and stressing as to whether or not I was going to be able to make it to HelloFresh on time, since I felt like I had kind of overslept a little bit, and I'll get to why in a little bit here. I heard the iPhone make a sound that I never heard before. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I looked down, and mind you, it was in the process of exporting the next segment of my vlog, which failed, by the way. While I was shouting these headlines, I heard and glanced down, and failed, not enough space. I don't have time to deal with that. Maybe I'll deal with that on my first break. Maybe I'll deal with that while I'm in the Winolo room with the operations manager, whose name is Paul. I would love to get Paul's ear. I don't know if I'm a Winoloer. I'm like literally the bottom of the barrel for people in the HelloFresh building. And that said, I seem to have made an impression on some people and some management type people. But then there's Africa No Bottoms too. I damn near got a promotion to PA when I was at Amazon on the day that I nearly punched Africa No Bottoms in the face and then went off at him loudly in front of everybody. And when management and ops and everything got, and it didn't escalate to like anywhere near that with No Bottoms 2, but it's, boy was I thinking about that what had happened at Amazon though, and just how, because it was the same level, same like identical style of stupidity. In fact, in some ways, it was even stupider stupidity. Because I don't think Amazon's Africa No Bottom would have done that to me. Like, I think he would have looked at what I was doing and going, "That's actually pretty good, Dan." Because there were times he looked at stuff I was doing and I would kind of explain why I was doing it. He's kind of thinking like, it's like, that's efficient. Because the HR guy, the Winolo guy, all right, passing on the right, weaving in and out of traffic. Fabulous. Although I am passing on the right, but the guy in the Dodge really has an obligation. Oh, and whoa, there's something I've never seen before. He had a Vayo sign on the side of his car. I hope my video caught that. And it had extensive body damage. I was under the impression if you were a contract driver for Vayo, your car had to look perfect and presentable on the outside. I didn't think that kind of body damage was acceptable. And I bet it's not. They just don't know. I don't want to destroy that guy's livelihood, but I sure would like to know about that. Because I tell you, if the Saturn was in better shape, I would probably be doing Vayo. I probably would. In fact, I had somebody who's pretty special to me that I don't ever really talk about on this video, who at one point when we were hanging out lost his job, and he told me that he didn't know what he was going to do, and he said that he did a little bit of ride share, but it just wasn't making the kind of money you need to pay his bills. And I suggested he do Vayo, and he applied to it. And like the next time I saw him, which was roughly a week later, he was just raving about how great it was and how much money he put into it. He's like, yeah, I'm not even fucking with Uber and Lyft now. Like, just Vayo's a full-time job. It's great. God, thank you for the recommendation. But his vehicle was about like a 3-year-old Volkswagen sedan. So I forget what kind it was. What kind? I'm not that into modern Volkswagens. But and speaking of Volkswagens, my brother-in-law and sister that just came to visit me about a week and a half ago. Oh shit! I'm about to miss my exit. I'm not used to taking this exit. Wow, I just became that guy. Whoops. Just acquired a, I want to say a vintage bug, but it just doesn't feel right to refer to like the last reboot of the bug that had the motors in the back of the car, to refer to those as vintage bugs, but I guess at this point they kind of are. So not to be confused with the awesome classic early 70s bug that my neighbor has, but yeah, I'm bummed out. I wish my sister or my brother-in-law would have told me about that. I think I would have made a trip. I would have made a trip out to wherever the hell they were just to check that out, because I love shit like that. I mean, not my favorite kind of car, but I just think that's neat. That's awesome. So yeah, my friend had this Volkswagen and he got anyway, with the current situation in my car, obviously doing that kind of driving is not an option. With my driving record being what it is right now, it's also possible that doing that kind of driving would not be an option. But Vayo is something I've very, very much considered. And that car, the Saturn cleanup would look every bit as good as that. I mean, the cracks and the stuff in the back ain't any more unsightly than the dents on the side of that Vayo I just passed. And sorry, that just completely threw my train of thought of what the hell I was talking about. Oh yeah, so video didn't export. Yeah, I'm just gonna get it. So now I'm gonna be even more behind on uploading old chapters of my blog than I have been. That's all right. Working at getting things handled is way more important than, y'all can watch what happened when I get around to posting it. And if anybody wants to help out with some cash, I might not need it by the time this is posted, but hey, my PayPal and my Venmo are still as listed in my channel about page. They're still there. I can certainly use the help, and at least right now, I can certainly use the help. As for the Cash App that's listed there, I'm not sure if I have access to that. I think there's like $35 in that Cash App. I don't know how to access that. And maybe I should be working on that, but that's potentially a lot of work and headache to possibly not get at $35. So it's 6:41, put 3 minutes on it, 6:44. Yeah, I don't have time to locate a 7-Eleven. I just need to get my ass over to HelloFresh. I was like, bam. Newsflash.
It's 6:44. I'm Becky Lynn. Here's what you need to know right now. It is the second day in the trial between local business leaders and the city of Phoenix over the court-ordered cleanup of the zone. The closing arguments ended this afternoon, and the judge said he'll issue a ruling around mid-August. Stay with KTAR for the very latest on this ongoing story. The court heard from Brian Freudenthal, the Phoenix police commander of the Downtown Operations Unit.
Crimes are still occurring in the BA 26 area or in the area around the Human Services campus. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
But based on this document and your knowledge, is it your position that crime is in fact decreasing?
Yes.
The prosecution argued not enough is being done to clean up the area.
Agreed.
Many who are facing homelessness in the valley are doing it alone.
You know what I would like to see them do? What I would really like to see them do, I would like to see a good old-fashioned on-foot beat cop. Does Phoenix even have such a thing anymore? I'm thinking probably not. I would like to see a good old-fashioned beat cop. They probably better run in pairs, because it's sketchy down there. But I would love to see 2 cops, good old-fashioned on-foot beat cops. Hey, they got radios. They can radio for backup when they need it. But I would like to see them just walk up and down Madison, and walk up and down Jackson, and walk up and down 9th Avenue, walk up and down 12th Avenue. And when they smell fentanyl, make a fucking arrest. Should they arrest people for just being homeless? No, homelessness is not a crime. But smoking fentanyl in public is. Get all those people incarcerated on that shit. Get a rehabilitation program that they're basically forced to go into because they are incarcerated, and I think that would make a massive dent in the problem, and it would separate the people that are just there to be junkies from the from the people that are the people that I talk about, like that I had breakfast with, that are just genuinely in need of help. And many of which actually want help and just aren't, for whatever reason, aren't able to get it. So just about a HelloFresh, I'm going to have to wrap this up super quick. Why am I running late? What was the weird notice that I got? So the weird notice I got, when the Winolo app gives me a job, whatever phone I'm using when I'm on it, because I do have it installed on multiple devices, I can, I have an option to click to add it to my calendar. And I've been using that. And I'm a little rough going through it, but anyway, the calendar on iOS, which of course doesn't synchronize with the calendar on any of my Google devices, Android devices, it, hello Fresh. It will, and look at that, cornfield's off and to the left. You know, and I think there were cornfields on the left here, but that's already been harvested. I think the day when I came out on the 4th, there was corn growing directly across the street from where I exit here. So, yeah, so it was a really weird sound that it made. And interestingly enough, it was able to put that pop-up over iMovie exporting, and it didn't cause iMovie to stop exporting. That's a first. But yeah, it told me I don't know how exactly it was interacting with traffic servers, but it said apparently it's aware that traffic is light to where I'm going and that I would make it on time. And it pretty much...
It's 6:48 today.
It is 6:48. So it pretty much accurately predicted my commute time. So that was pretty neat. Yay, technology. Why I overslept a little bit, and I need to sum this up quick and then get my ass in the door. Okay, these are XL gloves. I think I have my 2X gloves either in my backpack or in my hoodie, which is in the trunk. Let's pop the trunk. Click. While I'm thinking about that, and I need to wrap this up super quick. Yeah, it's me being prompt. I feel like that I can get myself where I have somewhat of a relationship with Mark, the front half ops manager. I think I'm becoming a familiar face to him, and particularly, and I'm at this point I'm unforgettable to the Winolo HR rep. Although, was that a one-off night for him? I don't think so. Yeah, we talked about after going to Bottoms later when I was in the process of clocking out with the Winolo people, and yeah, that guy's. I would love to see him go the same way that the original African Bottoms in GYR3 went, and I do feel I had a big contribution to that, although I highly doubt my situation with him was what he got fired for. In fact, all things considered, I should have been fired for that, but when it was evaluated, like I was so on point and he was so ridiculous that pretty much everybody from ops down that showed up at that situation and watched it not only sided with me, but stood back and just let me verbally unleash on the man as they were just kind of nodding their heads. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but that's really how that shit went down. Yeah, I gotta get inside. So when I got home from handling all my financial dilemmas today, which I'm just amazed how that all worked out, started working on this chapter of my blog, my vlog and fell asleep to the sound of my own voice. It's pretty simple. Thank God I set a bunch of alarms just in case that might have happened, because I thought that might happen. So I'm here on time. That's the important thing, right? Thanks for coming with on the drive.